Hello and welcome everybody to a vintage cube draft. That's right, we are turning back the clock and trying something new here because now it is officially winter break here for my children. It is the holidays, and what better way to celebrate the holidays than with a nice, warm, cozy vintage cube draft. Now, it's been a really long time since I've been doing a regular amount of cubing, particularly on Magic Online. So there might be a learning curve, but I am excited to jump in, get some trophies, maybe draft some blue-white Cheons. We will see how this goes. Now, before this draft starts, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Check out TCGplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether you need that booster box of foundations or some singles to round out your deck, or you want to buy some cards for a buddy for the holidays, make sure you check out tcgplayer.com and click that affiliate link in the description below. Additionally, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories, card things such as deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon to get you 10% off your first order. Lots of great stuff on the website. Make sure you check them out, and they're constantly working on ways to improve on their product line. Also, they do have a presence. They do regularly frequent conventions, so make sure you swing by and say hi, and you will also get 10% off your order. All right, here we go. You know, I was going to say, I really hope I open a Mox, but this is not the Mox that I was hoping for. So what do I take? Couple of interesting packs here. Picks. There's Griselbrand if you want to do the Reanimator thing, right? That is totally a fine card. Bloodstained Mire, if you watch enough of LSV's Cube Draft videos, you know that he values the Bloodstained Mire very, very highly. But there are a few cards that I do believe are a little bit better than fetch lands. And I think Fable of the Mirror Breaker is one of those cards. This card's absolutely fantastic. Just good in any deck. I do like Nadu a lot. I like Bloodstained Mire. Birds is fine as well. But if it wasn't for the Fable, I'd probably take Bloodstained Mire, although I don't have that much experience playing with Nadu. But there's a lot of good ways to pump it, I'm sure. But I'm going to start with Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Can't ever really go wrong with a first pick Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. Moving on to pick number 2. What do we have? I really like Reprieve. I like Remand. I like all effects like that. Underground Sea is good. I like it more than Savannah. Just blue duels are generally going to be better. What does this do? Okay, it's a Miracle Lifelink creature, and then you can return something. You can reanimate something. So it's a reanimate card. I think I like Reprieve more, and I do think I like it more than the Seasoned Pyromancer, where I will just look to take this card. The Seasoned Pyromancer is also fine. Everything else is just fine. Vaultborn Tyrant is really nice if you're sneaking it in or reanimating it in some way. Or flashing it in, rather. Sneak and Flash is where the Vaultborn Tyrant really shines. But for me, I'm just going to take the safe Reprieve and see where things go. Wow, there's also a Torsten here. So we saw Vaultborn Tyrant and Torsten, both cards that go really, really well with Sneak and Flash. But for me, I like having the Sneak and Flash first before I start just taking cards like the Torsten really early. Given that we passed a Vaultborn Tyrant, the Griselbrand, and now Torsten, it's probably not the direction that I want to lean. So what do I take? This pack is a little bit less good. Nothing here really shines to me. I don't want to take Usher of the Fallen this early. Sure, it's okay to draft the aggro deck, but do I really want to take Piggy Bank or Usher of the Fallen this early? I think I'm going to take a Ralgrin Triome. I have a red card and a white card already. This is a really good card to fetch as well, and I do like the Jeskai colors in general. So let's take the Triome here and just settle ourselves in nicely to perhaps a blue-white Cheon's deck, or a Jeskai Cheon's deck. We shall see. Okay, well, this is an early Lurrus. I have a Reprieve already. Do I take it? Because the only other consideration for me is Expressive Iteration and Containment Priest. Those are the only other cards I would consider here. And I do like Expressive Iteration as a card draw effect. Now, the only unfortunate thing with taking a Lurrus here is I would have to abandon Fable of the Mirror Breaker as my first pick, but I really just have a lot of fun drafting Lurrus decks. And so I think I'm just going to take it because you know what? You know what the whole point of Cube is? To have fun. So let's take the Lurrus here. And worst case scenario, I can just play the Lurrus. But right now, we're going to have the Lurrus as our companion here and kind of move it off here to the side. So now we can only draft certain types of cards to go with the Lurrus, of course. Everything needs to be cheap, so we will draft accordingly here. Here, there's a Soul Guide Lantern and an Ether Spell Bomb. I think I want one of these because cantripping artifacts is a really great way to grind out your opponents with specifically Lurrus. So I think that's what I want to be doing. And given that I don't know my colors necessarily, I think I'm just going to take the Soul Guide Lantern. I just think Reanimator is a pretty decent strategy, and having a main deck way to slow that down seems quite strong. So let's go ahead and take that here. I don't actually know how to sort this. Okay, moving on. We have another cheap card here in the Mishra's Research Desk for the Lurrus, or we can take Blood Crypt. And the Rakdos colors are pretty nice with the Lurrus. I mean, I could just be straight Mardu or something along those lines. Blood Crypt is really good, but you know what? I have been so impressed with these effects in the Lurrus decks that I'm just going to take this here. I know there's a good chance that it's going to table, but I just want to make sure that I have a little bit of redundancy with the cheap artifacts that I can get back with the Lurrus. Here, I will take a Caustic Bronco. I think this card's great. Imagine it's just a Dark Confidant where everything is really cheap in your deck, so I think that's something that you're really interested in. And Thalia is actually not that great in Lurrus decks just because you have a lot of cheap spells in your deck too. So it does make all your things cost more. So there is that. All right. I am liking this setup here so far. There's Exhume, which I don't care too much about. Witch Enchanter costs 4 mana. I think I will take Blazemire Verge. It taps for black, which is big, which means that all the cheap interactive spells that I play, I can use this to tap for black mana, but if I do have a swamp or a mountain, I can use this to tap for red as well. So welcome addition here to the deck. Decent start. Definitely want lots of interaction here and good, efficient creatures to go with this Lurrus setup. Okay, what about now? Well, there's a Lingering Souls, which is pretty good. I don't have any blue cards right now, so I don't see a need to take the Darkslick Shores. I have a Raugrin Triumph already, so I don't know that I want the Elegant Parlor. I could just be like straight Mardu, and I do like Lingering Souls a fair amount in the Lurrus deck, so I'm going to take it here. Here we have Zuran Orb, which I don't care too much for. I'll take Vampire Hexmage. I don't think I'm going to play it, but it's a decent sideboard card if your opponents have a lot of Planeswalkers. And also, if I pick up a random Dark Depths and some extra ways to find that, that can also certainly be a fine option. All right, what do I take here? What does this card do? Equipped creature it's an aggressively slanted card. If I reconfigure, I don't think I want that. I guess if I'm going to be a little more on the aggressive side, Usher of the Fallen can be fine. I don't mind this card. It puts on some amount of pressure, but generally my Lurrus decks aren't looking to Usher of the Fallen. It's kind of more of a mid-range controlling deck, but we'll see where things go. I don't really care so much for Expedition Map. I think I'd rather just take the Mutavault. If I do end up in more of a 2-color deck, this is a totally fine card to play in my decks. Like I said, I can just play a black-white mid-range deck that focuses on those mana colors, and then I don't even have anything that's red, right? I have the Mishra's Research Desk, I guess, which is something that I could consider. Here, I'll take the Aether Spellbomb. I would like blue mana to make this work, but now we have 3 artifacts to cycle with the Lurrus, so don't need to take these as highly now anymore. And in fact, if I don't have enough blue, then the Aether Spellbomb will probably be the first one on the chopping block here. Now there is an Arena of Glory and a Coma. Well, can't take the Coma. I don't think I'm going to main deck this Arena of Glory. Let's see. It comes into play tapped unless you control a mountain. All right, Tidehollow Sculler is actually exactly the type of creature that I want in this deck. Carnage Interpreter is just okay, but I actually find that I tend to have a lot of cards in my hand when I draft a Lurrus deck, so it's not something that I'm too interested in. Tamiyo is also fantastic. Wow, there's a Broadside Bombardiers too. Really good pack. Demonic Tutor, Tamiyo, Broadside Bombardiers all in the pack here. But for us, what do we want? What do we want in our deck? I just feel like there's a really good shot that Bob tables. Bob being Dark Confidant. Winds of Abandon is also fine. So maybe I do just take the Demonic Tutor just because it just gives me the most options here. And now it's less broken when I'm doing a Lurrus thing, but I still just think it's so strong and it's less likely to table that I want to take it here. Although, is it just Dark Confidant and table Tidehollow Sculler? You know what? I actually think that's the case. If I'm drafting a Lurrus deck, Dark Confidant seems awesome on 2, and I think Tidehollow Scholar is really likely to table. And this is a pick I normally wouldn't do, but for this type of deck, you kind of want to curve out generally, and Dark Confidant is awesome here. What am I Demonic Tutoring for? I'm not Demonic Tutoring for something really expensive, right? I'm Demonic Tutoring for something that's really cheap. And if that's the case, maybe it's not as good, and maybe I just want to play to the board with cards like the Dark Confidant. Here we have the choice between Reckoner Bankbuster and Council's Judgment as a removal spell. This does cost double white, which makes me want it a little bit less. And I do like the Bankbuster a decent amount. It's a little bit slow, costs a lot of mana. So maybe for that reason I don't want it. And I guess I have no removal. And I do have card draw here already in the Bronco and the Dark Confidant. All right, I've convinced myself. It's not super exciting, but it just gives me answers, right? It just gives me answers to whatever my opponents can be doing here. All right, moving on to pick number 3 here. There is a Savai Triome and a Cathar Commando. I'm taking the Triome here. We already have a Mishra's Research Desk that we might potentially splash. So I want to take that, and hopefully we can table the Cathar Commando or the Revoker. Both are fine, but I'm just taking this for mana reasons. Now I will take the Windswept Teeth out of this pack. Can't play the Grist. Retrofitter Foundry is fine. Sacred Foundry is fine, but the Windswept Teeth does get us all 3 colors, right? It gets us a Plains, it gets us a Savai Triome, so I do think I want the fetch land here. Portable Hole, Guide of Souls also being totally fine options as well, but I just want to make sure that I lock in good mana. And now we have an interesting choice. We can get blue mana here for the Tundra, but there's 2 amazing cards here for us already. Given that I have all these artifact cyclers, I don't think I'm going to take the Chromatic Star, but there's Dismember and Deep Cavern Bat. I'm going to take Dismember. It's just such a good, cheap, efficient removal spell, but noting that I also really like the Deep Cavern Bat, but we are in need of some really good interaction. So I'm really, really happy with what we have here so far. Now we have the choice between Arcana Cruelty. There is a Concealed Courtyard and a Shelter by Ghost. Concealed Courtyard does seem perfect for this deck. We are just looking to be straight black-white here for the most part. And I think I'm going to have enough playables. So I just don't think I need Shelter by Ghosts. So yeah, let's go. And there's a Tankard in this pack. Wow. But I just want rock solid, good mana in my black-white based deck here, especially with Council's Judgment in my deck here as well. Now, we have Sunfall, which I don't really want to play because I'm going to have a lot of creatures. There is a Thopter Foundry. If I had Demonic Tutor, it would be more of a consideration. But for me, it's between Gitaxian Probe and the Evolved Sleeper. I don't really want the Breeding Pool. That's just really far away from what we're looking for our lands. Do I just take Evolved Sleeper here? It's just a fine 1-mana play. It's a mana sink as well. Yeah, I think this can be an Evolved Sleeper deck. I'm separating it out, if you're wondering, by creatures and then spells here on the right. Preacher of the Schism we can't play. Dam is a decent removal spell, and then there's also Cut Down. So for me, it's Dam versus Cut Down. Double black is kind of tough, but it also acts as a sweeper. And that can be good in certain instances. Wow, there's a Gut as well. So a red-based mid-range deck would have also been quite nice. I really like Cut Down. But there's a lot of matchups where I guess maybe it's not so good. But I like the 1-mana nature of it. I will take it over Dam just because I don't really care that much about the Wrath. And Cut Down against other aggressive decks is also quite nice. Tidehollow Scholar tabled. There's a Winds of Abandon as well. But I just feel like a 2-mana disruptive creature is more important here, given that we already took some removal. We have a Dismember, a Council's Judgment, and a Cut Down. So why don't we take the Tidehollow Scholar here? And yeah, you know what? I'm actually really happy about this. I'm happy that I have Dark Confidant plus Scholar instead of Demonic Tutor, because my deck is just trying to get ahead on cards with all of these cheap cards, spend its mana as efficiently as possible, and then grind people out in the late game with something like a Lurrus. Now, there's an Ether Spellbomb here. If I can find another blue thing, I will play it, but if not, that's fine. I don't really like Marionette Apprentice. I just don't think it does much. So I think here I'll take the Reckoner Bankbuster. Do something like this. So 3, 4, 5, 12 cards. Okay. We are in the market for more cards. Yawgmoth's Will or Terra Asunder. I'm not playing Yawgmoth's Will in this deck, but certainly Terra Asunder is a card that I can potentially splash if I get enough green sources to be able to make it work. But looking solid. Just a nice 2-color deck. I could really use 1-mana hand disruption spells. Thoughtseize, Inquisition of Kozilek, and Duress are cards that really stand out to me. That Deep Cavern Bat would have also been quite nice for us. I think Portable Hole is more of a sideboard card, but certainly something that I can main deck. I like Cut Down more because it's an instant speed removal spell. Chromatic Star we're certainly playing, and wow, we are looking really, really solid here on ways to utilize this Lurrus to the best of our ability, right? Chromatic Star, Soul Guide Lantern, and Mishra's Research Desk. Now, honestly, if we feel like we don't have enough red, the Mishra's Research Deck is fine by itself, though. I don't have to unearth this, so I think I want to play all three, but we'll note that we might be over-indexing on this type of effect. It's just, it's expensive, or it does cost mana. It's not free, but here we are. What just happened? Oh, Lingering Souls went over here. All right, what do we have here? Well, there's a Karakas. So Karakas is extremely powerful. I think I'm going to take it here. There's an Underworld Breach, which is pretty cool. Palace Jailer, really, really strong. Glimmerlens can also be okay, but I will personally take the Karakas. It's just a great, great card in general, and really strong against various reanimator strategies. Here, there's a Time Twister, there's a Misty Rainforest, but we have nothing to fetch with the Misty Rainforest. Both of the Raugrin Triumph is the only thing that we have, so and we might not even necessarily play that card, so I don't think I'm going to play it. A lot of good cards in this pack: Time Twister, Shieldred Teferi. But for me, I'm just going to take a decent creature. I'm at the point where I need to take creatures here, so I'll take the Ajani, just a solid card, and then maybe we can table the Unearth. Why is this art the way that it is? Man, Bauble is so good. But I have so many of these artifacts. Which one do I cut? Do I just play all of them? There's a Grief, there's a Lorien Revealed, a Pentad Prism. I can't play any of these cards. I guess I'm taking the Bauble. This card is extremely good with Lurrus. It's a free cantrip effect. It's actually the best of that type of effect for what I'm trying to do. Here, I mean, I'm looking for playables here, but I can't just give up on Marsh Flats. It's just too perfect of a land for our deck, so let's go ahead and take that. Thoughtseize, that's exactly what we wanted. Man, Reanimator was also wide open. There's an Entomb here. I do like Sunblessed Healer a lot in this type of deck. Night's Whisper, also fine. Decent shot that we actually table something out of this pack, but Thoughtseize is exactly what this type of deck wants. Man, there's a Solitude in this pack too. Goodness. Reanimator was super duper open, but I will take Snuff Out. Also just a really, really good removal spell. All right, we are looking good on removal. I certainly just need to make sure that I can find enough creatures to round out my deck because we have 11 spells here so far. 12, 16, 17. We just need a bunch more creatures. But we're not seeing any. Like, what can I even take here? I'm not Reign of Filthing. I can't cast the Enduring Innocence. I guess I take the Talisman in case I want to ramp and... I don't know. I don't even know why I would do this, but I don't really want to take the Nurturing Peatland, so... You know what? I guess I'll just take Fiery Confluence. If my mana ends up good enough, I can just play it. All right. Like I said, I'm not taking Silent Cleaner. I'm taking the Thraben Inspector. Solid creature for this type of deck. And now we're kind of at the mercy of what type of creatures we table here. We only have 7 cards here. I guess the Reckoner Bankbuster can also attack. And then I can also play the Usher of the Fallen here if necessary. 18 cards in our deck. 18 playable cards. We need to table some stuff. All right, Glimmerlens. I mean, I guess I'm playing it and taking it. I'll take the Unearth. Unearth is just nice because it just gives you a little more redundancy in getting back your Lurrus. So I do like this a decent amount. It cycles, and then you can just get it. If they kill your Lurrus, you can... I like having at least one way to reanimate the Lurrus, which is good. Probably going to have to play Usher of the Fallen here. 21. Probably going to have to play Portable Hole or the Aether Spellbomb as well. Possibly the Vampire Hexmage. We'll see how this goes. All right, what do we get? How does Urza and Sneak Attack table? Like, this pack is loaded. Welcome to Holiday Cube. Welcome to Holiday. I guess I'll take Pentad Prism. I just wanted a cheap creature. What the heck? I'm not tabling anything. I can't play Iconoclast. I guess I'll take Mind Stone. Okay, here we go. Sorin doesn't do anything, though. I guess I'll take Knight's Whisper. This is certainly not an Imperial Seal deck. Wow. You know what? There's just another person drafting some kind of aggressive-ish deck. So we're actually just a little bit short on playables here, but we will try to make it work. But you know what? This deck was mostly already built here. So let's take a look here and see what we want to cut. We have 8 lands, and then we're going to play 17 lands in this deck, so we do need to cut 2 cards from this pile that we have here. I don't think Vampire Hexmage is particularly strong, so we're just going to be leaning on all of these cards. Lurrus we can just put in the sideboard here. So 8, so we just need to cut 1 card here. We are so light on creatures. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures. I'm just concerned that we're not going to put enough pressure on the opponent, but that is the world that we live in. This is definitely just not a Mind Stone deck. So our interaction is pretty decent. We have Dismember, Council Judgment, Snuff Out, Cut Down, Portable Hole. So 5 removal spells, a bunch of Cyclers, and hopefully that just finds us what we need. And we just kind of have to play 17 lands with this setup here. All right, so it looks like a fairly even distribution between white and black. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black sources. So 5, okay, this 5 and 5 work. So this gives us 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black sources. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 white sources. 10 white, 10 black. That is not bad. You know, I actually think I can just play both. I think I can definitely just play 16 lands here. Mostly because, now, normally I like playing heavy mana sources in my Lurrus decks, but hear me out. The reason behind this is the fact that I also have basically all of these cards, and these just don't do anything, right? They just kind of cycle. And given that I have 4 cyclers in my deck, I think I can just keep my my land count a little bit lower and just kind of play all the interaction. And my mana curve is so low that I think that can support all of that. And I'll cut a plains over a swamp just because Vampire Hexmage is double black. I just want another random creature. And hey, look, if I do play against a Super Friends deck, I can use this as a way to kill things and then recur it with Lurrus of the Dream Den. All right, so let's try this deck out. Just straight black-white mid-range and see how this does. Now, before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. And I do want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all your support. Happy holidays. It really does mean that I can continue making this content. It really, really does. Access to the Patreon will give you access to my Discord channel, which I do believe is a really great way to improve your limited game. Alrighty, let's... Okay, wow, there was like lag or something. Okay, there we go. So now that is my companion, and this is our hand. Excuse me for a second while I still just acclimate myself to the client. We're going to keep this. We have turn 1 Chromatic Star into turn 2 Bronco. Can use the star for white mana to play the Lingering Souls as well. Would like a little more disruption here. Our deck's very, very good at spinning its wheels, but we only have a Thoughtseize and a Scholar. Oh, I thought I won the die roll. Did I choose to play? No, I just lost the die roll. All right. Let's go star. Don't need to crack the star just yet. Just because, oh my gosh, that's a Soul Ring. That is in fact a Soul Ring. They are doing the artifact ramp thing. Holy cow. That's a lot of mana. I can play Vampire Hexmage to basically cut off a mana. But I'm just going to play Bronco. Next turn I will crack... Well, let's see. I think I'm going to attack first with the Bronco, depending on what they do. They don't have the ability to make multiple Thopters just yet, but that was an awesome turn 2. The only upside is that they didn't play a land, but that's very, very small upside here. I would love to be able to find a white source here to just kill the Soul Ring and slow them down. Okay, well, they played a Karn. Holy cow. That's a 4/4. That is brutal. All right, let's go white mana. Oh, wait, no, I could have used the Hex Mage to kill the Karn. That was actually really bad. It's weird, though, because if I play the Mutavault and add a white, I can't cast Council's Judgment. So I guess it could have gone either way. All right, we're just on Lingering Souls, I suppose, for the Karn. Yeah, you know, I think maybe, and that was just a mistake that I made immediately, which is quite unfortunate. But I think what I should have done is just immediately just use the Vampire Hexmage to kill the Karn. The problem is, I mean, they still have a Construct token. Goodness, that's an Upheaval. Huh, you can have Upheaval. I think my mana's generally pretty decent, but obviously this is not showcasing that in the best way. Next turn, if I draw Plains, I think the plan is to just go Hexmage the Karn. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, look, I'm not going to beat a power start with Soul Ring without cheap hand disruption. So it is what it is. I will say Vampire Hexmage is looking pretty decent, though, just in this particular matchup. All right. What do I want to do? So Lingering Souls, Tidehollow Sculler. Let's... God, this is so brutal. But I must fight the good fight. My only gripe about Vintage Cube is because it's such a complicated format, people just play extremely slow. Understandably so, but it's just... Coming from the hectic, fast-paced nature of Arena and then shifting over to Magic Online is a very, very big adjustment. All right. A lot of artifact creatures. Maybe I should just play 17 lands. Maybe I got greedy. To be fair, the two last cards I put in are both good in this matchup, but maybe my default should still be 17 lands just because this deck is just so mana hungry. And you want to basically keep hitting your land drops and play multiple spells a turn. That's how I think I'm supposed to get ahead in this deck. I mean, their deck is awesome. Their deck is very, very strong. No white source? That's just gross. All right, I'm done with this game. They're going to upheaval me and kill me. All right. Let's begin sideboarding. Solid artifact deck from the opponent here. I do have a couple of good anti-artifact cards. And, you know, I was considering the Fiery Confluence, but now I should definitely play it. And I'm just going to add a mountain to my deck, make my mana a little bit better. This gives me access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll play a Raugrin Triome as well and cut a Plains. And just make it so that I have more red sources to be able to kill all of their artifacts. And then I can probably get rid of a cut down. I like Portable Hold just because it still kills the artifact things. I like the Vampire Hexmage still. Dismember. Snuff Out. Is this not... No, that kills artifact creatures, so that's also fine. I don't know that it's worth playing like a Pentad Prism to be able to get the mana to play the Fiery Confluence, though. So this is our interaction. 1, 2, 3. Probably Glimmer Lens is just not all that strong, so I think I can cut that. There's also consideration for Soul Guide Lantern, but I think that's probably a little more... that's just still probably better. All right. Okay. I would love to play first. I would love to put Lurrus into my opener. What? Do planes just not exist in my deck? I'll keep it, I guess, but man. Maybe I should mulligan this. I don't know. I have Tide Hollow Scholar is a pretty good card in the matchup. I have this research desk, which will hopefully find me a white source. A plane just off the top would be great too. You know what? I'm just going to run out the Vampire Hexmage here. Just because it's a threat. And this gives me a higher chance of being able to activate the Mishra's research desk. And I can still play out the Scholar next turn if I have to. So either a black play or a plains would be great. Okay, this is just downright ridiculous. The mountain. We drew the mountain. Okay. I guess we can't play anything. That's really unfortunate. Come on, give me a play. Like, okay. Okay. Thank you, deck. Goodness. The question is, do I even run it out with all this open mana? I think I actually go Thraben Inspector here. This just uses my mana the best. So I think I go Thraben Inspector and then put Lurrus into my hand. Just feels like there's a very high chance they have a removal spell or a counter spell. And so I want to just kind of run things out a little bit slow. Get a lot of value off of my cards. Spend all my mana perfectly, if possible. All right, Swamp Cycling for the Troll of Khazad-dûm. Could be a counterspell here. Ooh, another white source is fantastic. Okay, so that's counterspell. And I want to push the aggression, so I'm going to run out the Johnny here. What's funny is this is a cat, so it triggers off of that too. The only downside about this is if I draw Fiery Confluence, I can't play it. What the hell? What? Did they really just miracle this card? With the troll in the graveyard? Did they set that up? Oh my gosh. That is insane. How do I beat this? I don't know. I can remove a lifelink counter from the troll. Return target land, spell, or non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owners. I didn't even know that card was in the cube. Wow, this is savage. I feel like I need to cast what's in their hand. I need to see what's in their hand. All right, Mystic Confluence we shall take. Memory Jar, Dak Faden, and Spell Pierce. Okay. Oh, this is nuts. So Dak Faden does not do that much. Is this an artifact? No. Wow, this is just a lot. Well, we know that they at least don't have an instant speed way to kill anything, so I can technically triple block the troll, which I think is my play. Oh, then they can play the Dak. Oh, but then I can still kill the Dak by playing the Lurrus and sacking the Hexmage. You know, I actually don't think they have a great attack. So they attack with yeah, they just don't have a good attack. They can just play a jar here, I guess. Sure. All right. Hey, I am happy with this. But we certainly can't attack. Let's cast with the Lurrus. They do have a spell appears, but it's pretty likely for me to hit something I can cast, like a creature. Evolve, Sleeper, or Dismember. Oh. They have a spell pierce, so I guess I just take the... Did I play anything else this turn? Dismember? No, I didn't. Yeah, it's simply just get Evolve Sleeper here. All right. So we've exiled Lingering Souls and Dismember. All right, those are good cards. This is certainly a far less explosive artifact-based hand from our opponent. Going to be leaning pretty heavily on Misra's Research Desk plus Lurrus to get things going. They might just fire off this jar just because I have such a big board, and I'm getting a lot of value here with my Lurrus. There it is. So we discard all of these cards. And they get to play out whatever's in their hand. I would have liked some of these cards, I will say. Oh, you know what didn't table? The Cathar Commando. How random, right? Looting the... Well, I guess it matters to some degree, but they have to play whatever they find. The One Ring? They got rid of that? Okay. Okay. This, by the way, this is looking like it was an amazing jar. Holy cow. It's just so much action. Whew. Okay, I don't mind that. The question is, what do I want to kill? Probably the troll. The issue is I still can't really attack. Ooh, portable hole. Yes, please. Stupid ledger shredder. Feels like I have to get the foundry. They just have way too much going on here. I have the Hex Mage for the Jace, so that's not that bad. Let's level this up. Then I'll play a swamp. And pass. I don't know how I actually get through here, but... What do they cast from the graveyard? The only thing they can get back right now is a Preordained, so it's not too bad. I know Upheaval is in their deck, so that's obviously quite annoying. Echo of Eons. Wow. Jace the Mind Sculptor. I don't actually know what I want to... Like, do I want to kill this Jace in response? I'm surprised they didn't use that Jace, but they could have been doing that to bait me. But it's fine. What are they doing? Returning Scholar. So they get the Confluence back. Got to think about this. Sure. I see. They're gonna do some bounce shenanigans, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem that strong. All right. They might bounce it in response, I guess. Five, six, seven, eight. I mean, they can counter the Hex Mage, but I mean, this is the power of Lurrus, though, right? I'm actually able to somewhat grind through all of their really powerful stuff, even with just a bunch of kind of dinky, cheap things. Oh, Ledger Shredder. I mean, that's the only bad thing, but I got to do what I got to do here. At this point, I might want to just get the Ledger Shredder out of here. They can Mystic Confluence and make me pay 6 and bounce something. And I guess that's a thing. It's fine. Oh, I can just pay to 3? I'll pay to 3 then. I don't... Okay. So this resolves then. And then I get up... Wait, I don't understand that at all. Okay, let's take the upheaval. Let's play the Savai Triome. And what is in their hand? Spell Pierce and Relic of Sauron. So, because of that, I'm at 18. I guess they did bounce my token, so that's kind of annoying. I think I need to snuff out something. What can I get back from the graveyard? Is the Ledger Shredder gonna be problematic? Maybe. I mean, this... Oh, I can't even kill this. Never mind. All right, let's just kill this then. So Spell Pierce and Relic of Sauron is in our opponent's hand. I can just take this first hit from the troll here. It's not too bad. And then next turn I can continue to just get stuff back. Okay, Relic down. They're gonna loot or whatever. Remember, they still have Echo Vion, so decking them is not really a viable strategy. I need to block with 3 creatures. That's so many. All right, all right. What do I go for here? What am I looking for? That's the question. I think at this point, I want to dig pretty deep. Well, you know what? No, I don't want to deck myself, though. Let's just get the star and play it slow. Oh, that's what we're looking for. Fiery Confluence. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Although I can't cast it, right? Oh, no, I can. Oh, they still have Spell Pierce in their hand. So I do need to be mindful of that. I'm at 8? I'm just playing everything. Just playing everything. All right. What a crazy game. I mean, that's the thing with these Lurrus decks. The games go super long. Like, we've been able to keep up with the cards that they've drawn. But Sheldock Isle? Whew. If they kill my Tide Hollow Scholar, it's kind of a problem. I will say. Karn. Okay. So that makes a thing. All right, so Fiery Confluence would be very, very... I don't want to hit it off the Dark Confidant, though. We hit Thoughtseize. I have 6 cards left. Oh, Jesus. Still can't find it. I do feel like I need to kill this Karn. I mean, I can try to dig deeper with the workshop, I guess. Whatever. Let's not go too aggro here. Okay. I don't want to play the research desk off the graveyard. I can make this Death Touch. I can Thoughtseize them, but I just don't think I need to right now. All right, let's play that. How do I kill them, though? That's the thing. The thing, they have so much mana, they can just Echo of Eons. They can just Echo of Eons here. Or whatever they hit with the Sheldock. It was basically a tutor. That's the thing. I mean, Urza's fine. Urza's certainly fine. Wow. I wish there's a way that I could just mill my opponent. Ah! Nice. All right. Thassa's Oracle was unexpected. Hey, you know what? Even though I lost, that was a fun back and forth grindy affair. And so I am okay with that. And like I said, I don't want to main deck the Fiery Confluence, but I do want to add an extra land to the deck. So let's add a Plains to the deck and then just cut one of these other cards. And Glimmer Lens seems to be the worst option here. It's that or the Hole. Hey, I don't think I have enough creatures. Let's just try this and see how this goes. All right. We're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. We have a Karakas here, and we have this Mishra's Research Desk, which can hopefully find us another land. Mox Ruby. Hey, oh, we have Karakas. Oh, and Bobble. Elegant Parlor. I'm hoping I draw a land here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I just figured I get 2 draw steps. Maybe the safer thing to do was just play out the research desk. Our hand is really great, and we added a land, and we cycled. Like, if I miss here... Oh, wow, they got a Savai Triumph, so they don't even play anything this turn? Sure. Yeah, this is life. Sometimes this happens. But you know what? Our hand is still extremely cheap. As long as we find a mana source here off the research desk, I think we'll still be okay. Their hand is Elegant Parlor. Wow, Headliner Scarlet. Card is... Oh, it's a legendary creature. Wow. Okay. I'm at 17. What do I want to do? I think I just want to cast Dismember. And then next turn, I can go Research Desk and then start digging for more lands. They might just play the Scarlet again. We found a land. Wow. Okay. Thought sees them. Bone Crusher Giant. We'll certainly take that. And then they have Inti and Elegant Parlor. Okay. All right. Super cheap and disruptive. I love it. This is panning out very nicely for us. Elegant Parlor is the play here from the opponent. They're a little bit flooded, definitely. They're probably going to run out the Inti. The question here is, do I run out the Scholar or the Dark Confidant? It's a lot of good options. But... oh, never mind. What did they do? Holy cow. They killed my research desk? Wow. They killed absolutely everything. So their hand is Inti. You know what? I'm just playing Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant, Crack Clue seems really nice. The thing is, with the Inti, if they play it next turn, I can still just bounce it and play Scholar, right? Is this a legendary creature? No. Oh no, I messed up. Oh, I'm dumb. Well, no, I want to keep this up. Whatever. It's close. Yeah, but I take an extra point of damage, right? No? Oh, yeah, okay. Let's kill the Needlekin or Needlehead. We hit Portable Hole and Lingering Souls. Okay. Let's play the Souls. Start putting some pressure on the opponent. We have Portable Hole. We have Tide Hollow Scholar. We have Karakas for the Inti. See what we hit off of Bobby. Okay, land is fine. And that is a Concealed Courtyard. Let's bounce the Inti. I'm going to play the Scholar here. Let's get the Inti. Let's attack. I don't see myself attacking with Mutavault next turn. I just have so much to do with my mana, so I'm not playing it. And instead, I'm choosing to play the tap land here, just so that I have access to 6 mana next turn. Having access to 6 mana just means I can Portable Hole, Caustic Bronco, Flashback, Lingering Souls. Just a lot I could be doing. All right, let's attack with everything. We're at 8 life. I kind of want to add the most power and toughness to the battlefield. Although getting a Lurrus in play also seems quite nice. Just to have... although, no, I want to Lurrus when I have Karakas up, right? Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do. So why don't we Flashback Lingering Souls? And then why don't we play the Bronco? And yeah, let's play this too. Sure. Let's exile Bone Crusher Giant. All right. That was a good turn. A good turn. Kumano faces Kakazan. Think I can handle that. Their deck looks pretty decent against us, though, I will say. I don't need to draw more cards here, so I'm just going to do this. All right. Beat on the Boros deck. Very, very happy with that. I think I just want to have more creatures in my deck, so probably just play Glimmerlens over Soul Guide Lantern. Boros has almost no recursion. And I do think I like the research desk a little bit more. It's not like Glimmerlens is awesome, but it's just another random blocker. And I just didn't end up with... You know, oftentimes when you draft these types of decks, especially black-white, you table just random dorks. And we just really weren't able to do that in this draft. And I don't think I want the Fiery Confluence. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Just like messes up my mana a fair amount. But maybe I still did. Alright, this hand is fine. Thoughtseize into a bunch of random creatures. Plus Lurrus. Our opponent mulliganed. Hopefully they don't play a Mox. Okay, that's good. Nothing turn 1 means we at least get to fire off this Thoughtseize. I'll play the Swamp so I don't get wastelanded. Thalia, Lalia. Kumano faces Kakazan. Okay. Unexpectedly absent. Well, they don't have a red source. So I'm just going to... Lalia is the most annoying card here. And I don't really care about Thalia's effect. So yeah, why don't we take the Lalia? Because the Vampire Hexmage can just trade with Thalia. And if they play the Thalia, they can't actually play Unexpectedly Absent unless they draw another land. Alright. I'll play the Hexmage here. Oh! They did draw the land. So they're gonna... Oh, wow. Adeline? That's insane. I mean, I still should block. Thalia is kind of annoying. Alright. Wow. Okay. So the question is, do I play a Johnny or Dark Confidant? A Johnny blocks better. All right, let's do this. Because at least if I do it like this, the Ajani can block the human tokens. Adeline is going to be able to hit us for a lot. But they're going to cast Unexpectedly Absent on something. The human token should definitely attack. Oh. All right, we take it all. Oh, that was amazing. Amazing. We're at 12 life. I'll keep the 2/2s back. All right. This just hits me for 1. Sure. I want to draw a card. Oh, right. I forgot that that was on top. They're probably going to chump the 2/1, yeah. Take 2. And then we just get to play both of these. It's a little bit dicey, though. Like, do I actually want to play Dark Confidant on this board? At 7 life? Maybe I don't. I think it might just be a Johnny. And then just pump up the Evolved Sleeper. Yeah. I just feel like I'm pretty ahead now, and the way that I lose is if I take a few points of damage off Dark Confidant, and then they burn me out. Oh my gosh. They literally top-decked Headliner Scarlet. Oh my god. That is absurd. What the heck? That was like the best possible draw. Oh my goodness. That's outrageous. Now I go to 2? And they get free spells every turn? And they get to flip this? That's unreal. Holy cow. How do I recover from that? I really want to find a land here so I can play Lurrus this turn. Unearth. Okay. I mean, that is a valid play. A valid play. Let's get back to Hexmage. Let's play Lurrus, put Lurrus into our hand. Play the research desk. And hope, I guess. Doesn't it reveal? What the heck? What is this? Face down, okay. This is kind of wild. Okay. If they find a removal spell, no, I'm not totally dead yet. Oh my gosh. Okay, what does this exactly do? Okay, they made a 4/4 vigilance, okay. They can't really attack me. Like, I feel like it's in their best interest to keep Headliner Scarlet in play. Okay. Here we go. I think I dig. Tide Hollow Sculler or Plains. Tide Hollow Sculler is another blocker. Plains lets me play the Mishra's Workshop. I'll just take more lands here. All right, let's play Lurrus. Let's play the research desk. We're at 2 life. This is so scary. I can't really attack. All right. I need to find an answer to this Scarlet. And that's what hopefully this Mishra's research desk allows us to do. We're at 2 life. I can basically never play this Dark Confidant. I'd love to be able to just attack with the Lurrus, just to gain some life. And then that'll flip my Ajani. Oh, and I have a red thing in play. I have a red permanent in play. I didn't even think about that part. I legitimately did not think about that. Wow. Okay. Big turn here for us. Let's go ahead and crack the desk. Ooh, Council's Judgment or Cut Down. I want Council's Judgment. You can also play this. Let's get the Scarlet out of here. And then I can replay the research desk. The question is, do I want to go up to 5 life? And I think the answer is yes. I feel like I have enough action here where I don't need to rely on the Lurrus. And I feel like the life gain is more important. What does this do? Look at, sure. Or whatever. What did they show me? Okay. Let's play the research desk. Oh, they let it resolve. I did not expect that. I'm at 5 life, and we're going to pass. Hey, you know what? Gaining the life, good enough. Gaining the life is good enough here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did we just lose? No, we didn't. I mean, we almost lost. That's insane. No, we did lose. What an absolutely ridiculous top deck. I mean, it. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Parallax wave here. Oh my, and we even gained the life. I'm at 5. They exile my last token. And I take 5 and I die. What a sick game. I thought we had this completely under control. And they went Headliner Scarlet, and then basically I feel like I thought I turned it around already, but I feel like I just had one more turn. And they literally just drew a one-sided Wrath of God to attack me with everything and kill me. That's Cube. That is Cube. I'm going to keep it like this. I don't want the Fiery Con on the play. Maybe on the draw I should have brought it in, but on the play, let's just keep it like this and just keep things consistent. And I think Dark Confidant's fine on the play. Man, our hand was solid too. All right, here we go. On the play, Lurrus, okay. Great hand, let's keep. This hand has Cut Down. Turn 2 Scholar, I have a Snuff Out. This hand has everything I want in this particular matchup, so. But they have a Mox. Thankfully, we were on the play. Gosh. All right. Portable Hole on the Mox is tempting, but I'd rather just try to slow down what they have. And wow, do they have a lot. Well, I have Snuff Out for whatever creature they play. Let's get the removal spell out of their hand. Just because I have Snuff Out and Portable Hole. Curious what they play. Curious what they play. It's probably the Aspirant. Although getting Lelia going also seems really strong, so I don't fault my opponent for doing this. Wait, what the heck? They played the Island and then played the Luminarch Aspirant. Okay. Sure. Now, I will say this isn't the best use of my mana. Oh, they're actually playing a defensive game. Got it. Let's get the Aspirant off the table. I'm glad that I at least drew this Usher of the Fallen, so it does give me something to play. And obviously I don't want to trade here. So their hand is Lelia. Savai Cheon, okay. I mean, they can just choose to never play the Lelia, but that's fine. Every little resource is very, very valuable in this matchup. All right, so they are running out the Lelia. Oh, it's a Stomp. What a draw. Super strong. So they have Unexpectedly Absent plus Stomp. Okay. Let me think. They have Unexpectedly Absent. All right. 5 mana for the opponent. They will likely play the Bone Crusher Giant, which I will not use a removal spell on. Might be forced to, though, if they use Unexpectedly Absent. If I, like, double block, let's say, and they go for the Unexpectedly Absent, and then I don't know what I should do. Inti. They have Unexpectedly Absent and Lelia, though, so, like, do they really want to discard one of those cards? I don't think so. Maybe they discard Lelia. Okay. I know your hand. What is this? Okay. So they have Lelia and Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. This allows me to double block Inti or this cat token if they choose to discard a card. I feel like they're going to go for the Lelia now. Okay. Let's kill it. All right, Inti. Discarding an Adeline? Wow. What did they hit? Kumano? Okay. This is fine. So let's block there. The reason why I can do this is next turn I can just play Lurrus and play the Usher of the Fallen again. Although if I draw a land, an untapped land, I'll just play Tide Hollow Scholar. All right, Lurrus, you are our last line of defense. We are all in on you. Oh, great kitty cat. Same thing here. I am not going to attack with the Spirit, so I can double block with the 2 creatures on the left. If the Inti chooses to attack. All right, as long as they don't draw a removal spell for the Lurrus this turn, I feel like we're going to be able to get some nice little incremental advantages. Granted, they have a good red-white deck as well. They can play a Bone Crusher Giant this turn, and it'll be a 5/4. And that is problematic, right? So next turn, I'll run out Tide Hollow Scholar. And then... oh my gosh. Dude, Sunblessed Healer is great. Look at this. Holy crap. I thought I was looking good. And then my opponent played this card. Oof. Oof. Brutal. Just going to play a free 2/2 here. Done. Play a land. I certainly don't want a Johnny to flip. Gosh, what do I do? The thing is, the thing they're most likely going to do is just run out the Bone Crusher next turn. So reprieving that is just not even an option. Well, now I think I'm behind. We'll see what happens. I mean, granted, I can block with a bunch of different things. Okay. I would have probably just made this big. I don't want the Ajani to flip, so I'm just taking it. Bone Crusher comes down. I need a way to kill the Ajani. I mean, there's so many things I have to kill here. Unearth? Oh, gosh. How does this work? Is it just always... is this line of text always the thing? If a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die. Or is it only the turn where this flips? Touch the Spirit Realm. Ah, that would have been so good. All right. Well, this is brutal. Oh, they've got such a strong deck. I don't like these attacks. But oh, so they do get exiled. Wow. Okay. It's just always a line of text. Huh. I don't know why I just didn't know that. Okay. Well, let's cycle this. Let's play Thraben Inspector. There's Council's Judgment, so I guess I'll crack it like this. Play the Bauble. I'm going to activate it now so I can maybe draw an instant speed removal spell. All right. Dark Confidant. On this board, not insane. Gosh. I have a decent amount of removal, but I used almost all of it. Cut down, snuff out, and the portable hole. I need to find a way to kill the Ajani, then I can block the cat token, and it's not a big deal. They have so many legendary... They have like this legendary... Like Karakas would be so nice. I assume they're discarding whatever they drew here. Oh. Wow. So they like their card. It's interesting attack. Assuming there's no combat trick or something. I mean, the more I play, the more I feel like I just need to play the Fiery Confluence main. I don't know, maybe that's what I need to be doing. I'm never fetching this land with my life total here. Oh no. I really wanted that one. Cathar Commando with Lurrus would have been quite nice. Yeah, I thought our deck was fine, but we were just short playables. We just didn't get enough because, I mean, we spent a good amount of time taking mana fixing, but like I said, oftentimes playables is not a huge issue with the Lurrus decks, but it's definitely one here. All right, you know what? I'm going to do something more broken. Like, Lurrus is fine, and it grinds, but I feel like we could have drafted a much sweeter deck, and I just got trapped by the Lurrus. So I will say this. In the next video, we will 100% not play a Lurrus deck. No shot. It's nice to be able to showcase all the different ways to play. But yeah, this is an 0-2. And you know what? That's it. I do not have the heart to continue. And my first foray into drafting Cube Draft, I will say, not a success. Not a success. I thought I did okay building around the Lurrus, but we just didn't quite get there. And we had okay interaction. We had the Thoughtseize. We had the Tide Hollow Sculler. We had some removal here as well. We had a counterspell in the Reprieve. So I felt like this was okay, but our opponents just did more powerful things. Or, okay, to be fair, that Boros opponent, I feel like we were a favorite against them. That second game was just kind of an outlier where they drew the Headlight, the 4-mana 3/3 into the Parallax Wave, where we were able to turn that thing around. I thought we were supposed to probably win that game. One other thing, though, I think we could have used the extra interaction, and I feel like maybe the correct thing to do was just play the Fiery Confluence here and then just add a Mountain, just because of how powerful this card is. And it having such a powerful, unique effect is really, really nice. And I think that's probably what I should have done. And then I should have just looked to cut, I don't know, something else from this configuration. But it is what it is. Live and you learn. This Lurrus deck was okay. Not insane. It's kind of difficult to go 3-0 because if your opponent do something broken, like that mono blue deck had the potential to do that, then you're just not going to be able to come back. But this is just the beginning. I promise I will turn this around. I will put on my thinking cap and try to draft a deck with maybe more interaction, or try to draft a deck that does something a little bit more broken. But that'll be, of course, in tomorrow's video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I truly do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Additionally, check out tcgplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Whether or not you need a booster box or singles to round out your constructed decks, make sure you check out tcgplayer.com and click that affiliate link in the description below. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.